15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football.
All right, sadly coming in at a 1 out of 10 chance, and it's probably not even that high, unfortunately, for us fans here at Auburn. We got Coach Prime. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I do think he'll get an interview, but I do not expect him to be the next head coach at Auburn football. I believe, personally, that, like Bo Jackson said, you know, we'll hire him if we're ready for Prime. I don't think we're ready for Prime. I just don't think this good old boy thing will hire a guy with his type of energy. Obviously, it would be great. Recruiting would go through the freaking roof. I would be so hyped if we hired Deion Sanders, but I just don't see it happening. What Deion Sanders is doing down there in the SWAC is great, and I think he's deserving of a Power 5 job. He's like 23-5 at Jackson State, the program that was dead in the water when he got there. He turned it around immediately. He's recruiting 3, 4, and the #1 player in the country to go to Jackson State. That hasn't been done before, so it's very impressive. And Coach Prime will end up getting his chance at a Power 5 school, but sadly it will not be Auburn. Next, we got the highest-ranked unemployed coach, and that's Matt Rule. Matt Rule is one of the hottest names on the coaching market this offseason. He made the jump to the NFL, and it just didn't work out. Overall, he has like a record of 47-43, 19-20 at Baylor. I got this 2 out of 10 chance. I just can't see it happening. I mean, I know what he did at Baylor, but he just doesn't seem like a Southern type of coach. I think he'll probably go up north, maybe Wisconsin or Nebraska. Well, I don't know if Nebraska's north. I mean, I'm a high school dropout, so I don't really know the map. But I like Matt Rule. I'd be excited if we got Matt Rule, but I just don't think Auburn will give him time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that we will give him enough time to build the program, because that's what he is. Matt Rule is a program builder. Nowhere he went, not at Temple or Baylor, was it immediate success. In fact, at both schools, it was a disaster at first. It was like 2 wins. But Baylor, he turned around in 3 years after the Art Briles scandal. That was very impressive. But another thing that's a negative, recruiting's been average. I don't know if that's the schools that he was working at, but he just hasn't had a great recruiting class. So overall, I just think he'll get an interview, just like Coach Prime will get an interview. But I do not see us landing on Matt Rule. Next up, we got everybody's man crushing Auburn right now besides Deion Sanders. It's Lane Kiffin. It's Lane Kiffin and Deion Sanders. That's who everybody wants right now. Oh, God. And when John Cohen, they heard that he come from Mississippi, like, I mean, the message boards are just blowing up. I guess this a 3 out of 10 chance, which is a pretty good chance compared to most of these guys. 3 out of 10, he's right there in the middle. I think that we have a good shot at landing him if we go hard after him. He wanted the job 2 years ago when the job came open after his first year at Ole Miss. Lane wants the job. I don't know if Auburn wants Lane. Obviously, there's rumors coming out that John Cohen really wants Lane Kiffin. We'd have to back up the Brinks trucks. I don't think his buyout's going to be like crazy high like everybody else thinks it is. But just overall, if we throw him good money and we offer him a chance to come coach at Auburn against Nick Saban, have Jordan Hare behind him, have all these resources, I think that he would jump for this job in a second. It's more about Auburn, right? We obviously know what Lane's done going from the Oakland Raiders, being hired by Al Davis as an offensive coordinator from USC. Al Davis was losing his mind, and then he went to Tennessee, then he went to USC, got fired on tarmac, went to Nick Saban's head coach rehabilitation clinic, went to FAU. Now he's at Ole Miss, done a great job there. I'd say the only way Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss is in a pine box. Do you catch my drift? Next up, guy we got is going to sound very familiar to Auburn fans, and that man is Hugh Freeze, the hooker slayer himself. He obviously came from Ole Miss to Liberty. You guys know. Overall record of 82-40 in his career. Did a great job at Ole Miss, cleaning up that mess that Houston Nutt left there. And then, you know, I think he called hookers on one of the school's cell phones or something. And then he was out of coaching for a couple years. And then he took over for another coach y'all are going to remember, Turner Gill, if you guys remember that. He took over for him at Liberty, and he's done a phenomenal job. I mean, dude came in, won like 8 games his first year. They had won 8 games in a while. I mean, Turner Gill was like 6-6 every year there. And then the next year, he won like 10 games with Malik Willis. Now, the next year, he went 7-5 in the regular season. It wasn't great. Malik Willis's last year, it looked like Malik Willis had definitely taken a step back. But overall, he's like 7-1 this year, and I don't even know who their quarterbacks are. So he's done a great job there at Liberty. We know what Hugh Freeze is just a step above Gus, in my opinion. I don't think he's this Hall of Fame great head coach. I think where Gus was perennial 8 wins, with Hugh Freeze, we'd be perennial 9-win teams and contend for SEC championships once every few years. That's why I think Lane Kiffin and Deion have higher ceilings. I just cannot see Deion happening. I would love it. But Hugh Freeze would be the solid, safe option. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say it. I give this 4 out of 10 chance. And finally, a hire that would make most Auburn fans revolt. It wouldn't make me revolt. I like the guy. I think he could do a very good job here. Coming in at 5 out of 10. 50% shot. Jeff Grimes. Jeff Grimes is one of the most well-respected coaches in the coaching ranks. Never been a head coach, though. He's come up for a lot of smaller head coach jobs. Even the Colorado job I've heard his name thrown out there for. Let's be real. This is the most Auburn thing we could do. We went to previous coaches with Gene Chizik and Gus Malzahn, and then we come in and we hire our old offensive line coach. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with Jeff Grimes, he was at BYU when Zach Wilson went absolutely ballistic. They averaged like 40 points a game. It was crazy. Jeff Grimes had a lot to do with that. And now at Baylor, he's got that team averaging like 38 a game this year. Very, very good coordinator. I don't know what he'd be as a head coach, but what I do know, he has a lot of connections in the South. He can recruit. Not a great recruiter, but a solid recruiter. And I think he can bring in an elite recruiting staff. That's the biggest thing with these coaches. They have to bring in a great staff. Great. Like, Harsin tried to do that with hiring Bobo and Mason. They just butted heads. I think Jeff Grimes could hire a bunch of well-respected Southern coaches to come in here and be on his staff. He could be our Sam Pittman. You know, Sam Pittman, I think that he has Barry Odom as his D coordinator, one of the most well-respected coaches in college football. Same with Kendall Browse as the offensive coordinator. That is what I think Jeff Grimes would be for us. I think that he could be a good head coach. He is not the guy that I want. He's pretty far down my list as far as personal coaching candidates that I would want. But overall, if we hired this guy, I'd give it like a B-. But yeah, 5 out of 10 chance. If you guys like the video, hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And War Damn Eagle. Selena, go! Oh. Stop!